Welcome back, friends, for another fun reloading video. I lied. This one's not very much fun. It's incredibly tedious, in fact. Today we're going to be doing some chores for the apocalypse. Well, this is just kind of like the first part to whatever might come of this, but who knows? Today I'm sorting spent primers by both small primers and large, as well as the small ones that have the anvils that have already fallen out of the cups. I've been doing this on and off all day. I just did it for a few hours. But what we have here are more spent primers than I will probably ever want to dream of having to reload. At this current time, I don't have to be reloading my primers, but I feel like it could be a useful skill. It's kind of like one of those glad to have it but don't need it rather than needing it and not having it situations. This is just going to be another tool for the apocalyptic toolbox. So what we have here are the primers I have left to sort through. And over here we have small cups with anvils still intact, and I'm not sure if they're pistol or rifle rated. So further down the line, when I have to remove the anvils and then punch out the detent made from the firing pins, we will further sort them between pistol and rifle. Moving right along after what's going to be like 10 hours of work here, we have all large rifle primers so far. In the middle, we have small cups, and then we have small anvils. So this first round of sorting that I'm doing, I'm keeping all the small primers intact. All of the large primers, they're all rifle, so they can all stay together. And then all the small cups, and then small anvils. Whenever we're reloading our primers, the anvil, it's not going to matter whether it's a different brand or for rifle or pistol, but the cups, we're going to have to figure out which ones are harder than the others so we can put them back into their appropriate cases. The cup type is still just as important as when you're reloading with brand new primers. We don't want to be putting a really hard Magnum rifle primer into a low pressure pistol cartridge, and vice versa. We don't want to put a soft pistol primer into a super Magnum hot rod rifle cartridge that's going to just blow through the back. So we're not doing anything super scientific just yet. I have my components in the mail, or rather on back order, whichever it is. It's going to be several weeks to maybe a couple months out before I even get the proper supplies to be doing this. So just like when I'm prepping my brass, I like to get everything done way ahead of time and in large batches, so when it's time to actually reload, I can focus on that and not sorting out my cases and so on and so forth. And before we started, I went ahead and I washed these in some water, some hot water with some dish soap, and just tumbled them around in a bucket a few times. Rinse and repeat, and then they've been sitting out to dry for a few days, so there's nothing going on there anymore. And this is just to kind of reduce any of that lead dust or any contaminants that would be floating around or getting into your skin. So this is generally really simple, but I don't know what it'll be like with the camera in the way. I've got my primer flip tray here, just the bottom part with the ridges on it. And I'll just grab a couple here, maybe 20 or 30 or 50. And then we kind of get them going, and you can see, let me turn the camera here. So we can see here, there's some missing the anvils. There's some loose anvils floating around. We have some large ones here. And so I'm just going to separate all that stuff out. And the ones that still have anvils that are small, those are all going to go back together as well. So I don't know if there's an easy way to do this without my fat hands in the way. So the goal really is to find all the large primers and then find the empty cups and the anvils, separate those, and then what's left are all of my small cups that still have anvils, and those will go back together in here. So we're all clear here, and then we can just toss all these and then come back for a few more. Every once in a while you get one of these anvils that are about to fall out, but it's just a little too tight, so I'm going to take my pick and we can just pop that out real simply and go on from there. So I'm just going to go at this pile here for a little bit, and we'll see what we end up with in, say, roughly 30 minutes. Don't know what happened to these poor fellers, but they're gone. So after 30 minutes, we might have 100 small primer cups here. But since I'm getting to the bottom of this collection of spent primers, it looks like I've got several hundred anvils. And we've got maybe 100 large rifle primers as well. And we've got probably an extra 1,000 spent primers here set aside that I've sorted out. And the whole point of this is so that I don't have to manually pull the anvil out of the cups. I can just find the ones, and this is already going to be more than I'll ever need to do, hopefully. And again, just in that 30 minutes, I probably found an extra 10 or so, quote, live primers that I'm not going to be dealing with. And so at the end of the day here, this is more of a hope I don't have to ever use this crap, but I'm going to go ahead and get ready to use this crap anyways. And hopefully we'll be able to learn something from this. And if we really do run out of primers someday, we'll have an alternative. So if you've done any of this stuff previously, let me know if you have any tips before I go balls deep and dive down in this rabbit hole here. I'm pretty much inexperienced. I'm going in blind. I've got no clue what I'm doing here other than separating my components and getting them cleaned and ready to go before my other stuff gets here. So there you have it, folks. That's what I've been up to today. If you have made it all the way through this riveting video, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Make sure to stay tuned for more. This is going to be sort of an ongoing series as I get the components to come in. Now, I might not show all of the exact steps on how to be doing this sort of thing, but I'll definitely be sharing my results. So once again, thank you so much for hanging out. Stay tuned for more. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one.